the concept of Ishvara being discussed, especially from verse number 1 to 4. So, sorry, 1 to 3. Now, this 4, 5, we discussed about this Antarjagataha, the internal world, and that is nothing but Ishvara. So, as we discussed very carefully, that the 3 levels of understanding of Ishvara. The first level is God created this universe or this world. God as a creator, mainly as Nimitta Karana, efficient cause. So, which is in English, God is omnipotent and omniscience. Present is not there. Then the next level of understanding which we are discussing in this chapter, like Ekarupa, from Ishtha Devata, from my own deity to comes Anekarupa. So Anekarupa, here Vibhuti Yoga, where God is being considered as that God created this universe out of one's own self. Means God is in universe, God is universe. So that is the second level, what we call as Nimitta Upadana Karanam. So both efficient and material cause. But the third level, which needs much more understanding, that is what we are supposed to arrive at as time goes. Where we look at is not God is only ordinary Upadana Karanam, what we called as Parinami Upadana Karanam, that which goes through change, like the milk to become yogurt now goes through change, which cannot be reversed back. It's not like that. It is definitely Upadana Karanam, material cause, there is no doubt in it. But this sort of material cause, we name it as called Vivarta Upadana Karana. So this Upadanam, this material, as though goes through a change, but in reality there is no change. That's why the third level of understanding of Ishvara is the God appears as though the creation. So it is just mere appearance, like me appearing in my dream as a dream tiger, as a dream jungle, as anything as I visualize. Now, when this thing is very clear, now to understand this Aneka Rupa, also I would like to bring it, because this verse number 6 onwards, there will be little bit, careful, 6 to 8, one has to be little bit careful. Because remember one thing, we make it very clear. The purpose of Shruti means the Veda, is not to teach how the creation has come to existence. Because in fact we look at very carefully, in different places, for example, if you look at the Italia Upanishad, the Srishti Karma, the procedures of Srishti is one way, some other Upanishads do talk differently. So it clearly indicates that the Shruti's main purpose is not to talk about the creation, how the creation has come to an existence. Because there is a curiosity, because there are certain doubts. So to clarify, to deal with the creation in a better way, we do talk about Srishti Karma. One has to be very clear before discussing Srishti, or else you end up whether Darwin is right or Big Bang is right, this is right or that is right, okay? However, we try our best to look at. Now, with this background, let us look at the external universe, how it is being created. Verse number 6. Maharshaya sapta purve chatvaro manavastatha madbhava manasa jata yesham loka imah praja. So here, when we talk about the Srishti Karma, it's a very simple verse, but we need to look at it very careful, in a careful way. So the first thing is that the Ishvara, we need to look at our cultural point here. Let us say, if you look at Lord Vishnu. So Lord Vishnu created Mahateja. So Mahateja means we call as Brahmaji. So when Brahmaji was created, it's a very nice concept to understand. So that then only we can come to the this discussion, or else it will be a disaster, okay? Let us go to the Purana. Then from Purana we'll come to the Shastra part here. So then Brahmaji created first, which is also here, 4 rishis, Chatvarha, which is called here. So who are they? Sanat, Sanadana, Sanat Kumara, Sanat Sujatiya. But Brahmaji was frustrated with them. I am not telling you jokes. Because Brahmaji thought these 4 are born, they will get married and perpetuate called Prabhuti Marga. That was his target. But unfortunately, these 4 did not get married. So they straight from Brahmacharya, they straight went to sannyasa. So in fact, they are the first, this sannyasa tradition was came from them. We look at, then the sannyasa tradition was re-established, reconfirmed, or you can say, let us put in a systematic order by Adi Shankaracharya. Because Adi Shankaracharya did not create any sannyasa order. Is wrong. Many people say, oh, he is the creator of the sannyasa or Dasanami sannyasa. No, sorry. Sannyasa order was not created by Adi Shankaracharya at all. However, let us not get into the controversy there. So these 4 rishis, when they were born, I am going as per the Purana, then we will come here, okay? When these 4 rishis were born, they did not marry. And of course, Brahmaji went crazy. I am not telling, imagine, Brahmaji those days went crazy. In fact, he had anger. And because of his anger, Ekadasa Rudra came. That 11 Rudras was being formed because of out of Brahmaji's anger. Let us not get into again. That's why till now it continues. Any parents, especially father, when he gives birth to a child, only with one thinking, any parents, okay? Let this progeny or let this lineage, let this kulam continue. And if it does not continue, even though nowadays they accept, but deep within there is irritation, there is frustration. That's why in India especially, when a child wants to become a sannyasi, I am not telling you jokes. What hell one has to go through in the home, you cannot think of. But every parent in India wants, my brother's son should be a sannyasi, but not my son. Because we have a concept, if anybody becomes sannyasi, the whole lineage will be taken care. So, for that sake, my brother's son can become a sannyasi, but definitely not my child. However, joke apart, here is being said that Brahmaji, how did he create? In fact, these 4, and of course this Maharshi Saptarshi, they are called Manasa Putra. So Manasa means only by Sankalpa. Sankalpa matrena eva. No, not by any other means, not by any other way. Just by visualization. Brahmaji could create. Then you can say, what are you talking? That's why maybe, I don't want to, okay, controversy, okay? Please, not like that. How is it possible? You may ask the question, how can one create just by sankalpa? Is it possible? Yes, it is possible. Just look at your dream world. Do you create dream tiger or not? So this dream tiger that is being created by you, how did you create? Sankalpa matrena eva. Then you can say, yeah, after all dream is unreal. Then who says that this world is real? When you are enlightened, when you understand, do you think that world is real? As your dream is not real, so also this world is not real. So that's why don't bring this concept, it is impossible. Remember, that's why you have to have Shraddha and also some brain to question yourself, not others, okay? You have very good brain to question others, okay? However, here when it is being said this, that this first Chatvaraha, let us look at the verse so that it becomes easier. Maharshaya Sapta Purbe, in the beginning, first prior to this Saptarshi, so we have different type of names of Saptarshi. So, but in general, let us say why Saptarshi was being created. Because first this Chatvaraha, 4 rishis, Sanata, Sanatana, Sanata Kumara, Sanat Sujatiya, these 4 were born because they adopted Nivritti Marga, where the lineage or the creation could not continue. That's why Saptarshi was created, to make sure that they have to get married. In fact, they are married, they are Vanaprasthis, like Vasishtha Adi. So they continued this Prabhuti Marga. So to highlight that both Prabhuti Marga and Nivritti Marga was created in the part of this creation. That's why we cannot criticize, we cannot look down that Prabhuti Marga is good or Nivritti Marga is good. We don't have right, because again it is created by the Ishvara himself. So that one has to be very clear in this regard. Now when this thing, then comes Manavas Tattha. So we have 14 Manus. So 14 Manus, actually all these things, this Saptarshaya, we have in, when we do Sandhya Vandanam, I don't think anybody is doing here now. So don't ask, okay? Please continue Sandhya Vandanam, okay? Please. So in Sandhya Vandanam, all these mantras comes. About Saptarshi, about Sapta Devata, Sapta Chanda, 7 meters, 7 gods, 7 rishis, all these things comes in the part of Sandhya Vandanam, okay? Let me not get into, because then I'll be dragged to Sandhya Vandanam part. So what in short is here? That this concept is being created, that Ishvara created this universe not in a special procedure, but first the human beings were born. Manavaha, Manu. In fact, we say Manu, what in English called Manava, called man. We say, Manute iti Manava, Manute chintayate iti, the one who thinks. Manute chintayate. No, that is the for man dhatu, Manute. It will be Manute, man dhatu accordingly. The one who is able to think. Okay, the one who is able to think is called Manu. From there, okay, that apatya, then it comes automatically Manava. That is another level. So man means the one who is able to think. This is the concept. So here he says we have 14 Manus. In this you can understand this the vastness of this creation. Let us look at how. We have that 74 Chatur Yuga. Okay? So Chatur Yuga means that Satya, Dwapara, Satya, Treta, Dwapara, Kali. Okay? This is called 4 Yugas. Into 74. Okay? That becomes, the presiding person becomes one Manu. Okay? It's a very interesting thing to understand, okay? And one Yuga, don't ask me, there is a big confusion, okay? When did Satya happen? We do not know. When this Treta happened, like Ramayana era, like, this physically Rama Setu happened, the bridge between India and Sri Lanka, that is Ramayana era. And Mahabharata just got ended just 3,000 years back, okay? Whatever things they talk. Now, let us get into 74 into 4, okay, is called the working capacity of this one Manu. And we have 14 Manus. Now, at present, 7 Manus are over. 7 Manus are over. Now, 6 Manus are over, 7 Manus is continuing. I made a mistake. Now, in this case, and in that Manu, Ashtavishanti Tami, 28 Yugas, Chatur Yugas are over. Okay? Imagine how many Yugas still are there. You can take it away from 74 minus 28. Okay? Again, it has to continue. And that becomes one Manus. Karyakalam. Work. Then we have, now we are 7, then 8 will come. After 14, all the 14 Manus when they get over, Brahma's is one working day. Okay? This is insert to understand from this verse, okay? Don't stretch too much. To explain that, this creation longevity is much, much vast what we imagine, nothing else. Even though we talk in after 1 million years, this will happen, that will happen. Just relax. Yes, maybe your creation will be wild, because what happened is the scientists think of this small dwarf star called Sun and its territory. Don't worry, we have bigger world, okay? So that's why don't worry about that aspect. He says beautifully, they are manasa jataha, madbhava manasa jataha. So they are born out of what? Out of my mind. Sankalpa matrena. That's why I brought this Purana concept. And interestingly, and here he says, look, now this all this yesham of these 14 manus, mam, so imaha prajaha jataha iti. So now all these living beings are born out of these 14 manus. Now this, in fact, we say very nicely, this madbhava, it also takes sometimes 2 ways. Not only they are born out of this 14 manus, all these manus, also we say because of this reason, indirectly they are born from me. Also, bhava also, they are devoted to me. Because this is the translation, this devotee people take it, okay? Because of this reason, so all are connected to Ishwaraha, madbhava. Let us not get into too much, okay? Now, while discussing this thing, let us look at this next verse, which is very important for all of us, okay? Etam vibhuti yogam cha mama yo veti tattvataha sobi kampena yogena yujyate natra samsayah. So in this verse, there are 2 words to be understood very carefully. One is called vibhuti, other one is called yoga. In fact, this chapter name is called Vibhuti Yoga. So here Vibhuti Yoga means chapter name. Yoga means a chapter, because each time yoga conveys entirely different meaning altogether. So here when it says Vibhuti Yoga, many people say, though this chapter is called Vibhuti Yoga based on that. No, here the word Vibhuti and Yoga entirely different altogether. Why? Because he says, look, yetham, when you say look at, this mama yogam. So yetham mama yogam. As you know, there are 2 types of energy. If you look at a little bit science, let us bring science here. 2 types of energy. One is called potential energy. Other one is called kinetic energy. This is how we look at it. So potential energy called invisible energy. Kinetic energy, that which is visible. That is how we look at it. So unmanifest and manifest. So here yogam means my potential power. That which makes things to get manifested. Whereas vibhuti means the energy, the power that has already visible, that has already been manifested. So my manifested power or visible power. And he says, look, yaha veti tattvataha. The one who knows me comprehensively, completely, both aspects. Not the only visible format, that which is available for the perceptions, for the experiences, but also that is not visible, that which is in potential form, the one who knows in reality, comprehensively, completely. Only that person. Because or else, saha yujyate iti. That person is endued with what? Says beautifully, avikampena yogena. So avikampena yogena, that means here yoga is taken in different way. So he has got a unshaken, there is no change at all, unshaken vision. So the concept is so clear in him or her, nothing can shake. Na atra samsayah iti. There is no doubt about in it. Now, when you look at this point, why suddenly this concept brought in? Also we need to, because remember, this is called Shastra. A teacher, especially traditional teacher, when puts some statement somewhere, it will have a long background. It's not like New Age gurus, okay? I remember, long back, one fellow talked in Chennai. First of all, some live show was going on. So he had come for some program. I cannot forget that day. Whole day he was busy and he is still alive, okay, sorry. So he's so cunning, came for some program, but night he arranged another program, live show. And whole day he was busy, tired. First of all, he came some 2 hours late to the live program, where like more than some 20,000 people were there. Came so late. And literally he was sleeping on the dais. But they said, oh, Guruji is in trance. And bhajans were going on and all these things, blah, blah, blah. Then suddenly says, let us politicalize the religion and realize the politics. And everybody started clapping. Wow, what a great statement. You understand? You may believe it or not, I also broke my head. Why did he make this statement? Okay, I knew the background and everything. Because he had come for, to be very honest, Acharya Sabha. Okay? So, because he was a part of Acharya Sabha and nothing entered in him, then what he do? Then finally he brought this statement, and that was, the whole satsang. People are crazy, don't worry, okay? This shows how people are stupid, and also I cannot say Acharya, religious or spiritual leaders are stupid. But remember, Acharya cannot afford to do that. This is the point to highlight. I am not here to criticize anybody, okay? Please. He's a great person, he's doing a lot of things for society, okay? So I respect him in this regard. But what is being highlighted here is, being Vibhuti Yoga, this chapter being Vibhuti Yoga, chapter named called Vibhuti, that glorification, the manifested form of the Ishvara, one should not and must not ignore on manifestation. That's why he suddenly brings this Vibhutim and Yogam together. Because there is a possibility that person only will look at the Vibhuti aspect. That which is available, that which is visible, that which can be perceivable. But remember, if you do not look at the unmanifestation situations, then how can it be possible to understand the Ishvara? And moreover, most important aspect is, we have very carefully talked, that's why keeping this particular verse I have been talking, that Ekarupa, Anekarupa and Arupa. I hope you remember this point. The God, the 3 levels, okay, same thing. The God created Ekarupa. Then comes God is in the form of universe, Anekarupa. In fact, we have a lot of verses on this. Like, Shankaracharya writes in, especially it comes in Sivananda Lahari, most probably in Sivananda Lahari it will come, where he has highlighted that, where he says that Lord is Umapatim, Bhavanim, then says Jagat Karana Utpati Sthitim, something like comes. It's in one verse, which is very nicely in one verse talks both. That this Ekarupam and Anekarupam. And also same verse comes, Aham Asmiti. So that is one verse, I think I have to recollect that verse. Beautiful verse to understand that. So which is being communicated, these 3 aspects of Ishvara. Ekarupa, Anekarupa, finally Arupa, means no form. Unless we understand yoga concept, that is called here unmanifested power, the potential power. Definitely we cannot travel, we cannot grow we cannot understand the Arupa concept. Our whole teaching, the purpose is what? From Ekarupa to Anekarupa. Now already we are in Anekarupam. Then from Anekarupam we have to go to Arupam. So that's why in this verse, this yoga is a very important word. So one has to understand these both concepts, Vibhutim and as well as Yogam of Ishwaram. Then only that person will be able to understand Ishwara clearly. And once the Ishwara is understood clearly, remember, that person will not have any doubt in life. Because we all have doubt. When consciously or subconsciously Ishwara is being challenged. Okay, you can say, what about atheist? Ishwara is not necessarily that visualization of Ishwara. Ishwara means lordship. Atheist, lordship you challenge. In fact, the person becomes atheist because to establish one's own lordship. You understand? I am superior. I know better. That's why the person becomes an atheist. So that means whenever and wherever the lordship is being challenged, the Ishwaratvam, the Prabhutvam, the status is being challenged, there the confusion starts. We are literally shaken up. So that's why here is said, if I know both of my potential aspect and as well as Vibhutim, because some people only know potential, that's why they have doubt of themselves. Psychological, I'm talking. Some people only know their manifested forms, that's why they talk a lot. I was this X word. I was X. You understand? Why X comes? Just to hold on to your manifested forms. Whereas when I understand me, as I have to understand Ishvara in both way, both Vibhutim and Yogam. So also when I understand me, my nature, both Vibhutim and Yogam, definitely there will be no confusion in my life. More of it we'll see tomorrow. Please close your eyes. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.